Another sunny day in London. I'd like to talk about my thoughts on alcohol, smoking and drugs. So we'll start with smoking. I've smoked before and it's very hard to stop. In part because you're not in control of the smoking, and a lot of the time negative entities are influencing you to continue smoking. As a smoker, you don't love yourself and you need to learn self-love. I met a girl on the beach once in Thailand and she blew my mind telling me that I said, what do you think about smoking? And she told me, well, it's a pacifier. It's a substitute for a mother's love. A mother's breast and sucking on it, and it's a dummy. And I found this to be true. We're scared of life, and so we smoke. And I think that's why when people go out and get very drunk, they actually feel quite scared, so they need some relief, and they feel like the smoking does that. Now, cigarettes, any commercial tobacco is full of hundreds of chemicals. They put rocket fuel in it. So don't go anywhere near commercial tobacco. If you're gonna get some, get Mapacho. You can find it online, and it's the purest form from the Amazon rainforest. And there's a nice story I heard about an astronaut who was going into space, and he smoked, and he was bumming cigarettes off his friends at parties as he was trying to stop. And before he left, a week or so before, he said, I quit, and he gave everyone he'd taken a cigarette off a packet of cigarettes and said, die. Now, maybe that's a harsh way of going about things, though. The amount of times now I see smokers and I feel like saying, please, you don't need to smoke. You can get through this. There are other ways. There are other things you can do. And if you want to talk to me, I can tell you about alternatives and ways you can get through that addiction. So now we'll talk about alcohol and drugs. I like what David Hawkins says, that any of these so-called highs are only us dampening or hiding, numbing our lower emotions so we can feel the higher emotions, which is interesting because it means we do have those higher emotions in us. So find ways to naturally get high. And a lot of people are trying to become enlightened and do all these Kundalini yoga and try and activate the Kundalini in their spine with exercises and drugs. And I think the quickest way to raise your vibration is simply to start being kinder to people. So be brave, start loving. See you on the other side.